Hello everyone and welcome to another Pyro Gaming video. Grandmaster Nightfalls come out next week, April 21st, the next Tuesday weekly reset at the time of recording this video. They're going to be tough, guys. They are going to be tough. They are going to be 1050 power and they're going to cap you at 1025 power. Meaning, no matter what your power level is, no matter what your artifact says, what your gear says, at best, you will be 25 power levels under the enemies in Grandmaster Nightfalls. Now, if you've done any 1030 Nightfalls recently, you can kind of get an idea that Grandmasters are going to be tough. So, that said, I wanted to make a video showing what I believe are going to be some of the best loadouts, class builds, and weapons for the Grandmaster Nightfalls. Now, obviously, I haven't played the Grandmaster yet, so I'm guessing here, but usually, you know, stuff that's good is good. So, yeah, let's go ahead and start with weapons since they don't have to do with class. So one thing that we do know about the Grandmaster Nightfalls is that you're going to have all three champion types for every single one of the Grandmaster Nightfalls throughout the rest of this season. So that means you're going to need anti-barrier rounds, unstoppable rounds, and overload rounds. So we need to build our loadouts first and foremost based on that. So what I like to do here, whenever I'm going to have a bunch of champions, is I might run something like this. I've got my unstoppable hand cannon. I have Ariana's Vow, which not only does pretty decent damage, you know, considering it's like a hand cannon type weapon, it also has shield piercing, so barrier champions are taken care of. For my power weapon, I could run something like a sword and put Disrupting Blade on it and have all three of these covered, but the likelihood of me getting close enough to an overload champion in a 1050 Grandmaster Nightfall with a sword is slim to none, so this probably isn't going to be the best bet. The only character that this might be good on would be the Hunter with the invisibility, and that's in certain situations where maybe there's an overload champion and he's off by himself, because if any other enemies see you swipe this dude with a sword, they gonna kill you. So in lieu of a sword, I typically run machine guns in these Nightfalls, and the 1030s is what I typically run a machine gun in. So depending on whatever shield type is predominant, I'm not talking champion shields, I'm talking elemental shields, Arc, Void, and Solar. So if there's a lot of Arc shields, I might run this 7th Seraph, or I might run something like a 21% Delirium. If there's a lot of Void shields, I'm going to rock the Bane of Sorrow or the Hammerhead. If there's a lot of Solar shields, I might throw on an Edgewise or an Avalanche. Just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about here. Figure out what the most prominent elemental shield is, and then build around that after you've built around this. Now, this loadout right here, this is going to have me covered in multiple ways. First off, I have up close and personal, both covered with all three of these. I have medium range covered right here. I have some long range covered here. That's the only downside of this particular loadout, and honestly, the artifact mods this season in general, is that you have to get pretty close to all these enemies, because that's just how the mods work. Some alternatives that you could do would be something like this. This right here I think is going to be a pretty good loadout. The reason that I think that this is going to be pretty good is because you have your anti-barrier. Now granted, this is on a submachine gun, so you're going to have to get up close. That's another big positive about Ariana's Vow, is that you can maintain some distance. But with this guy, you got to be up in their face. Same with sidearms, and that's going to be risky. But that's also where Anarchy comes in. So with Anarchy, with this particular loadout, you tag a champion twice with Anarchy, switch to this, and then as soon as that shield comes up, just be ready to pepper them with as much shots as you can. Don't worry about actually breaking the shield. Just worry about taking down the shield with your SMG rounds, and that will prevent them from getting their health back. That's the main thing that you want to do. Once that shield comes off, Anarchy's still on, still doing damage. You swap over to Mountaintop, and you try to finish them off. Now, that's kind of a solo build, honestly. Like that's kind of like you saying, like, okay, I'm going to deal with these champions myself. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be the guy. This is also a good one for dealing with champions and just enemies in general. Xenophage is in a really good spot. But look, I'm going to show you guys what I think is going to be hands down the best loadout. Okay? Hands down the best loadout for these Grandmaster Nightfalls. So look, right here, I've got Unstoppable, I have Disruption, okay? Now my teammates, while I'm running this, while I've got the Better Devil's Hand Cannon with Unstoppable, and Divinity, And machine gun, we already discussed, it's kind of interchangeable. It's whatever fits that Nightfall that week. While I am running this, my teammates can run something like this. So pop on that Izanagi's with Honed Edge. You got the Recluse for the anti-barrier. And remember, I'm still running Divinity. I honestly think that this is going to be the best loadout for these champions, if you're planning on killing the champions. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in a second. But 2 Izanagi's with Honed Edge and 1 Divinity to just insta-clap those champions. As soon as you see them, before they even have a chance to put a shield up, in 1030s, you can almost one-shot them at this power level. So I'm guessing here, but if you land your precisions in the 1050s, 2 Izanagi's Honed Edge shots with a Divinity applied should insta-kill the champions. Should. Now, like I said, I haven't been able to play it yet, obviously, because it's not out. I'm guessing here, but it should be enough to just insta-kill them. And that's what you want, man. Honestly, that's what you want. Another thing that I'm going to say real quick is sidearms do have a little bit more range than SMGs. So if you want to run anti-barrier sidearm, you could do that with something like Divinity and then put your machine gun down here for whatever. Okay, so look, let's talk about some actual class loadouts here. This is going to be important, man. To do these Grandmaster Nightfalls, like, you're going to have to actually do some build crafting and some, some specific stuff to make sure that you're able to take care of these. So I think that Hunter is going to be the best class for the Grandmaster Nightfalls for one specific reason. Okay, we don't have the seal yet, but Conqueror, it's already been data mined. Potential spoilers, cover your ears. There's 6 triumphs in Conqueror, and all 6 of them just require you to finish 6 versions of Grandmaster Nightfalls. So it's going to be like, one week it'll be the Arms Dealer, one week it'll be whatever it is this week, the Tree of Probabilities, and so on. You just need to beat them. You don't need a score, you don't need platinum, meaning you don't need to kill all the champions. You literally just need to cross the finish line in these Nightfalls to get Conqueror. Keeping that in mind, it's good to have a loadout to deal with those champions, but there's going to be a lot of opportunities where you can just ignore those champions and the rest of the enemies and just try to get to the finish line as quickly as possible. That being said, hunters can go invisible, and they can just go invisible and run past everything. And I honestly think that this is going to be the biggest thing in this Nightfall. Titans have bubbles, but when you pop a bubble, you got to stay in that bubble. If you get out of it, you're probably going to die. Warlocks have wells. Again, you're stationary. You get a lot of health regen, but you're just sitting there, being a sitting duck. Hunter, bro, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. I'm gone. I'm gone, dude. Look at this. I'm out. Look how far I can get. Look how far away from trouble I can get. Now look, I'm going to build some loadouts around Invis Dodge. First of all, first and foremost, 100 mobility. That is going to be an absolute must. Class ability cooldown is 9 seconds. I get my dodge back in 9 seconds. Okay? Let's look at Graviton Forfeit. Improved invisibility. Look at this. Look how much of my dodge I get back before I lose my invisibility. I get like 75% of that shit back. There's only like 4 seconds where I'm exposed before I get that dodge back and I can go do it again. Okay? I've been looking through the exotics, trying to figure out which ones I think are going to be great. I think that this guy right here is going to have a place in the Grandmaster Nightfalls. Okay? You're going to have a lot of special ammo if you're running Divinity and 2 Izanagi's. So Special Finisher is going to be pretty much a must-have on your class items, right? So knowing that you're going to be building around invisibility, knowing that you're going to have to do Special Finishers, knowing that these dudes are going to hurt, and to do a finisher on them, you have to get up in their faces. Assassin's Cow, man. Powered melee kills and finishers grant invisibility and healing, okay? This thing has a lot going on for it. So look, let's say that this guy right here is a champion. All right, I'm going to go invisible. I'm going to sprint up to him right here. I'm going to hit this. He doesn't see me. I'm invisible. As soon as I'm done, I got my special ammo. I'm still invisible for 12 seconds. Look how far away I can get. I'm all the way back over here with my teammates, safe and sound. Before it's even, I'm even visible again. And look, I already got my dodge back too. I'm going to give you another example because this is just all around good. And honestly, I feel like this is going to be like one of the, if not the, hunter exotics that you're going to want to use. You can even be almost dead. Look, my health is gone. Finisher. health back, invisibility. Fuck this shit, I'm out. And look, I'm gonna have my dodge back before this invisibility even runs out, dude. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. Look at that shit. So this one is definitely on my list to try out. This one seems like it's got some serious potential. Another one that is worth trying out is going to be the 6th Coyote. Gain a 2nd dodge charge. Now with 100 mobility, you get your dodge back every 9 seconds. So 18 seconds for 2 dodges to return. So if I do a dodge, okay, I'm going to be invisible for about 5 seconds, which should be now, and then I do another one. By the time this one is out, I should get that original dodge back, and I can go again. So that's basically just 3 dodges in a row that you can do, with the 4th one only 5 seconds away. So you can stay invisible for a long time. For a long time with 6 Coyote. Definitely going to be worth trying. Of course, you have Orpheus Rig. Orpheus Rig is not going to be, built around the invis mobility stuff. Orpheus Rig, you're building around tether. It's still going to be good. All right, Orpheus Rig is never going to be bad. Something like Stompies could be good. Or not Stompies, though. Frosties. Frosties, because when you're sprinting, you get more of your class ability back. I'm kind of thinking that Celestial Nighthawk might have a place in here, but I don't know if it's worth the sacrifice of losing your invis dodge to have a super that can one-shot a champion. I don't know if that's a fair trade-off, honestly. I would have to try it out before I make a decision on that, but it could be worth it. It could be worth it. If this can one-shot a champion, it could be worth it. I don't know. That might be a good trade-off. Because remember, you also, whenever you get a kill with Celestial Nighthawk, you also get a lot of your super back. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, that's my Hunter builds. That's what I'm going to try out day one when Grandmasters launch. Let's go ahead and look at the other classes real quick. There's a couple of selections that I am really anxious to try. I'm going to go to Warlock because I play Warlock the least, and I feel like Warlock has the least amount of options. So first off, Nizarek Sin. This could be really good if you want to spam abilities. That could be a good option. I think the best one overall for Warlock, though, is going to be Phoenix Protocol. Gain super energy for kills and assists inside Well of Radiance. This scales up depending on how tough the enemies are. So if you throw down a well, and while you're in that well, you kill a couple of champions, you're going to get a significant portion of that Well of Radiance back. It's going to be really good. I think Seguin Alchemy could have a place in here, but the only downside of this is it's going to require you to get a lot of kills in a short amount of time, and these enemies are going to be quite tanky. So, I don't know. Again, it's going to be one of those that I have to try out, but it is on my radar. Down here, we have Lunafactions. Lunafactions, never bad. Never a bad option. It's always good to have increased reload speed. Just remember that if you were doing the Izanagi's build, like I was talking about previously, then this is of no use to you. There's no point in it because these no longer work with Honed Edge. Transversives, if you are running that Izanagi's build, I think Transversives is going to be the best one in terms of getting some ammo back and reloading and stuff like that. I think that's going to be the best option for the Warlocks. Even though it is the selfish option, I think it's going to be what helps you the most. Especially if you're running something like Xenophage, or if you're running something else that has a really slow reload time. Machine guns, stuff like that, Transversives is going to be really handy just to have those weapons always ready to go. For the Warlock, you want to focus Recovery, because Recovery is how Warlocks get their class ability back. So you can see here, I'm at 96 out of 100, so I'm at tier 9, and I'm getting my class ability back at 46 seconds, whereas at tier 10, I would get it back at 41 seconds. That's still a really long time to get a Rift back. But you definitely want to build around that. I would build around that, I would build around Recovery, and I would build around Intellect if you were doing a well build, and I would definitely be running Phoenix Protocol. Honestly, that's pretty much it for the Warlock. I can't imagine the Arc and Void subclasses for Warlock having anything to do in that Nightfall. I think you're going to be a well bot. I really do. Same with Titans. I think you're going to be a bubble bot. I think that's what the Titan is going to be. You're going to build around your bubble. So building around the bubble, Helma Saint 14, always going to be a good option for bubble. Titan's Ramparts are going to be a really good option. Doomfang Paul, no, not Doomfang. Where's it at? I don't even have one, man. I think that this exotic is going to be making a comeback. It's been kind of thrown off to the side in recent times, but I think Ursa Furiosa is coming back, man. I really do. I think Banner Shield could be really good in this. If you don't want to be that bubble bot, I think that Middle Tree is going to be really good. Think something like Heroic Menagerie back when Season of Opulence was a thing. You know, you could not do those flawless triumphs without Ursa Furiosa. You just absolutely couldn't. You needed that Banner Shield. So, Banner Shield with 2 Izanagis behind it, that's going to be a fun build that I will definitely be trying out. Actium War Rig, specifically for the, I don't have them on this character, but Actium War Rig specifically for Xenophage and Machine Gun builds, going to be really good. Crest of Alpha Lupi, that's another one. That's another one that I think is going to be under the radar, but also really good because casting your Barricade heals you. And you also get more orbs from your super, which is going to help your teammates out. So just little things like this, man, to keep in mind. As far as the mods, I think that these are going to come in handy too. I mean, it's going to be a tough sacrifice to give up recovery, mobility, or resilience. Although I will say that resilience is the one that you need to worry about the absolute least. These guys are going to hurt you. It doesn't matter what your resilience is, they're gonna clap you. But you know, having things like Major Resist, Boss Resist, Concussive Dampener if there's a lot of splash damage, Void Resistance if there's a lot of Void, like, you know, these things that give you little bonuses, and honestly, they're better than Resilience. So on any piece of gear that you have Resilience on, take Resilience off and put some of these on, man. Major Resist, that's going to be a really good one because that's gonna reduce the amount of damage that champions do to you. And guys, 1050, 25 power levels difference, they're gonna hurt. They're gonna hurt really bad. So I truly believe that it's gonna be like just all the support classes that are gonna be running around in these Grandmaster Nightfalls, because what else can there be? Like, you're not gonna go in there with hammers and just do work. You're not. You're not going to go in there with Thunder Crash and Meme. You're not. These guys are going to hurt, man. These guys are going to hurt. Drop a comment in the box below. Let me know which loadouts you are looking forward to trying out. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed this one, though, click like. If you're new to the channel, click subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, I fucking love you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.